So that gets us to our sandbox. And for sandbox 4, which you have plenty of time to work on today, remember class ends today at 10:45. The sandbox explanation for this week is pretty simple. I want you to use if, elif, and else to create a number guessing game. I want the computer to generate a random number between 1 and 10, and I want you to get a number from the user. I want you to have the user guess what the number is. And then you will use an if statement to see if that number is higher or lower than the computer's secret number, or if it is exactly the secret number. And so to assist you in this, we have sandbox 4, and I'm not going to walk you through the detail of this because it's all here for you. But what it does do is give you some example expressions and walk you through those. And it gives you some sample code for if and if else. It does not say anything. It does not give you sample code for elif, but you can find that if you want to review that in the textbook for the class. And here is the starter code for this assignment, and it gives you basically 3 lines of code with some commentary that explains what those do. You don't need to be an expert on these, but they will help you because so far you don't know how to have the computer generate a random number, but you will after this. And so let's take a look at those before I turn you loose to play around with this. Here are the code lines. Line 1 says import random. You've done this before when we use the turtle. We're going to import the turtle module. This is importing the random module. The random module is a module for Python that deals with randomization of things. It has all kinds of functions, but a couple that we'll use in this class are the one we'll use today, which generates a random integer, and another one which randomly chooses an item from a list that you give it. So it can do lots of interesting things, and it saves you the work of having to mathematically figure out how to do randomness, because random is surprisingly complicated. It seems simple, but it's complicated. So on the second line, line 5 here, we have an int secret number, and in that container, we are putting random.randint, and in parentheses 1, 10. And what we're saying there is use the random module, and inside that module, use the randint, so a random integer function, and we're giving it 2 numbers, the 1 and the 10, which give us the range of numbers to choose from. Choose between 1 and 10. So what will happen is every time I run this, int secret number is going to have a different number put in it. Let's just test this out all by itself by printing that. So I can print int secret number. Now watch, every time I run this time it prints a 5. If I run it again, a 9. Run it again, it's a 3. So it's working, it's doing what it's supposed to. It's giving me a secret number, a randomly generated secret number for each time I run it. And then the last thing here is I'm taking int user guess, and I'm asking the user to input a number between 1 and 10, and I'm converting it through nested functions to an integer. Remember, every input is a string. No matter whether it's a digit or anything else, it's always a string. So I have to convert that to an integer before I can do anything with it. So these will get you started. Now you have a variable that has the secret number, and you have a variable that has the user guess. So now what your challenge is to use those in an expression and an if else block to tell the user either your guess was too low, your guess was too high, or you guessed correctly. For an added challenge, I would put it out there that maybe a nice thing to do would be to tell the user, if they got it wrong, what the secret number was. Because let's face it, every time you play a game against the computer, what does the computer do to you? It cheats, obviously. Just kidding. Computers can't cheat. That's not a thing they do, at least not at this point in time. Sometimes it feels like they're cheating. So just to come clean, have the computer tell the user what the secret number was, since they got it wrong, and they only get one chance to guess in this game. Later on, actually next week, we'll be able to have the user have unlimited guesses or 3 guesses or whatever we want. But we're not going to do that today. Just one guess. And the computer's feedback is you guessed too high, you guessed too low, or you guessed the secret number correctly.